Okay. No, I haven't done anything for a while as far as recording. Well, I haven't done very many recordings at all, period. Uh, been kind of busy. Right now, it's really, for this area, it's been pretty dang hot. Uh, Last couple of days, it's been in the 90s. And that's very hot considering we're in fall. Although, this was actually the coolest summer we've had since I've been here in California. Uh, it's not bad right now. It's actually a little cooler today. Supposed to be getting up there, but I've tried to take it easy the last couple of days because I've already had almost had a heat stroke in the past, and that's not a very good feeling. But I just wanted to give everybody an update. At our building that I manage and maintain, should I say one of them, it's the one I live in. We had to put in a gate opener for our driveway gate, and no big deal putting that in. I got it in, got it wired up, and it works good. And it closes automatically. It's on a timer, but we have some tenants, they want to activate the gate opener to open while they're walking down to their car. And it only stays open for a minute on its own. Now, if it encounters something that stops it with some kind of force, even a kid can stop it just by it pushing up against the kid. So it's not going to hurt the kid seriously or anything, but it'll stop and open back up or close if it's opening. And it's a good setup, but because of these people that want to do this kind of stuff where they want to open it on their way to their car, we don't want it to hit their car, because then they can sue us and it winds up costing us a lot of grief and heartache as well as money. So we ordered some, you'd call them like a photo cell. And if there's something in the gate when it's ready to close, it won't let it close. And I was going to run it one way because it's two parts, and I have to have power going to both of them. And lo and behold, I figured it's asphalt driveway. I can just kind of chisel my way through it with a old claw hammer. And for the top layer, which was very, very weak anyway because it was just deteriorated so bad, it went right away, no problem. But when I hit the the next layer down, that was like concrete, even though it was just asphalt. So I couldn't do that. So we rented a jackhammer. 6 inches of asphalt. Yeah. On a driveway that's very, very thick. And what happened is it used to have a slope at the top of the driveway, and somebody decided they didn't want that, so they built that up using asphalt. So that was the issue there. Anyway, I got that down, and I just dug a trench about 6 inches wide and got all that hauled out and brought some sand in, put a little bit down on bottom, put my conduit in and everything, and then I put sand on top of the conduit, and then I got the bags of asphalt patch and put that on there. And I thought 4 bags would be enough, but unbelievably 4 bags, 60-pound bags of asphalt was nowhere near enough. It brought it up close enough that it wouldn't hurt anybody. It would be there'd be just kind of a dip in it, decent dip, and it takes about 2 or 3 bags to finish leveling it out and make it so that it doesn't dip again as it packs. And I'm using a hand tamper to pack the asphalt. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's a steel plate, usually 1/4 inch thick. They come in 2 or 3 different sizes. The one I'm using is a 10 inch by 10 inch 1/4 inch thick plate with a metal handle to add weight to it, and then for some kind of support, it's actually got ribs that go out towards each corner from the handle. And even if you think you're fit, you're in excellent shape, because like one guy did that I had do some for me one time. He thought he was in the best shape in the world because he was a waiter. He was always running around and on his feet and everything, and lo and behold, he did that for about 5 seconds and he was done. He couldn't do it any further. It's a full body workout. Doing it with using that on asphalt is a lot different than dirt like I was doing with that guy. And even with asphalt, it's much harder because you're trying to really pack it down. So you really put a lot of force in the downward stroke. And it's very hard on the hands and arms. Not bad. I've done it so much before. Even though it's been years ago since I did it, I can tolerate it. A lot of people can't. Yesterday, I really didn't do much of anything. I had to go over to one property. We have a tenant there. We're working on getting her out of there. She's doing stupid stuff. She says her sister ran over all her keys. Well, she said she would pay for the replacement cost of the keys, and she has been notified that it's $75 for the keys to be replaced. Various administrative fees and cost of the, having to have the keys made and all that. And she hasn't been wanting to pay it now. She don't pay it. So, because she doesn't have a key to the sidewalk gate, she goes over to one of the driveway gates, which is a double gate, and it has a drop rod that pokes in the ground, and it's got a bolt, I guess you would call it. It's a piece of square tubing, goes inside of a bigger piece of square tubing, and that holds the other gate closed, and it's got a setup where you can put a padlock on it. And we have a padlock with the chain welded to it, and the chain's welded to the gate, and allows people to be able to unlock that lock without taking the lock, because we have had somebody steal the locks off the gates. And we know it was a tenant, but we don't know who it was because we didn't have cameras. But anyway, this lady here, she actually pulls the drop rod up out of the ground like you're supposed to open the gate. And because she doesn't have a key, she forces the gate to the inside, even though it swings out, so that she can open the gate. Because if you push it in far enough, that bolt will come all the way out of the other piece of tubing, and then you can just open the one gate to the outside and then open the other one and walk in. We don't want people knowing they can do that. We don't want it like that. So I had to go and get about 2 or 3 more feet of chain and another thing of locks. And I had to go over there yesterday and work the hole for the drop rod, clean it up and get it to where the drop rod will go all the way down like it's supposed to, so that it can be pushed into the closed position and a lock put on that as well. And we had to do that on 2 of the gates there, because 2 of the 3 gates we have for the driveways, for the garages and all that, are double swing gates. And we are I'm not happy about having to do that. It's a pain in the butt. Notice this video is getting a little long. I want to get back into doing my recordings. I had started one channel previously, and I started doing recordings, and got very, very busy and didn't get to do my recordings after a while. And then I'm trying to get back into it, start up a new channel because I didn't like how my old channel was going, and I've only posted a couple of videos, mostly me talking. I'm actually in the back end of my garage right now where I live. It was originally just parking stalls. You had 2 for each building at the lower end because the first floor has 2 apartments. Ours are down below. Well, one of the tenants, my next door neighbor, he was worried that I was going to let my stuff go over into his parking area, even though he never parked there. So I talked to my boss, and I had access to some free lumber material, and he says, yeah, if you want to put up a dividing wall, go ahead. So I put up a wall between mine and that guy's parking stall, and then put up a wall going across the back, so I had about a, 8-foot by 12-foot workshop, I guess you would call it. Not bad. We have lots of storage space here, and I have a lot of stuff in the storage, but it was so much easier just to, whenever we had something that had to go inside after I put up a garage door as well. My boss bought me a garage door to put up, and I put that up. It was a used one. It was much easier just to open my garage because I didn't lock it at the time, and just throw the whatever had to go into storage for a while into my area. And it became so cluttered and screwed up, messed up, that I'm now trying to clean it up. I've organized it some. I still got stuff to move around. I've actually got my business computer in here, and I've actually used it sometimes to play games or whatever. I got it for free, but it's not a bad little setup. It's an old desktop. It's been refurbished. I like it. It does the job. And there's the tower. Got a stereo computer, speakers up there. I do have a printer. I got to get it hooked up. My lighting in here, it's fluorescent lighting. Gotta love it. I got the fixtures for free. I have a bunch more of them. I'm going to set those up. Yes, the refrigerator actually works. I usually keep my sodas in there. I'll keep stuff in there to keep cold. And, that way there, if I start getting too hot right now, like that jug, I just take it and put it on my lap and just kind of wrap my arms around it. And a few minutes later, I'm cooled down enough that I can just go chill, which is nice. I just thought about something. Yep, it's powered. Okay. I was just wondering because I hadn't heard the refrigerator kick in for a while. But I guess it's just as warm or cold enough now, so I'm not gonna complain. I'm really wanting to get this stuff going. I need to get a generator. The generator I was using died on me one day, and it would run just fine, but it wouldn't put any electric out. And I worked on it for a while and couldn't figure it out, and finally I discovered, well, the voltage regulator has gone bad. Okay, so I get another one. We get it put in, no big deal. The wiring's simple and straightforward, And then we discover the windings in the rotor have also gone bad. So what that does is it won't let it create electric like it's supposed to. It'll do 3 volts, I think it is, but it's not even an amp of power for at 3 volts. You know, it's very little. But what it does with that is it sends it through the rotor, and then it's amplified up to 110 volts. And it's weird how it works, but anyway, the windings that would amplify it are bad. So my problem is I can't find another rotor for it. And I think I found a place that can redo it, but that's like $300 or $400, and I don't have that. So it's like, wonderful. One thing after another, never ends. Yeah, I've got to take some time off from work here pretty soon and do some work on my van. I got a bad oil leak I got to fix, and that oil leak has affected some of my suspension components. I've got bad control arm bushings because of it. So I've got new control arms to put on, but I want to fix the oil leak before I do the control arms. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut this video short from here, but I just wanted to give you all an update. I'm playing a new, old computer game on this thing, and I may do some videos of that. There's supposedly a way I can do it to where it records it to live to YouTube, but I don't know how that'll work. One of the games I'm playing is World of Warcraft. It's been out a long time. I'm doing the trial version right now because I can't afford the game. They have one called Diablo 3. I'm going to be doing the trial edition on that to see how it works, see if I like it. I might go ahead and buy the game. There's a couple of other games on there that I might buy later. I don't know. If I decide I like doing this, I am going to get the money together and invest in a higher powered desktop computer that can do the gaming like I want. This one here, it's slow. It took 2 hours to download and install this Diablo 3 Starter Edition. And it wasn't a big file, I guess you would say. But the thing is, when I was watching my performance on it, most of the time, I have a dual core processor on here. I don't know which one it is. I haven't looked at it, but they pretty much stay at 100% of usage, no matter what I do. It doesn't like doing the YouTube videos. I don't like letting me watch them. Netflix, anything like that, it just can't keep up. That's why I like these games. They're a little bit of a slower frame rate and all, so it does decent playing the World of Warcraft. If I want to go with work on upgrading stuff like that and playing better games or anything, yeah, I'm getting a better computer. This one here, part of my problem is how hot it is out. And I may take my refrigerator and move it over here next to the my workshop table, which is where I have my computer monitor and all this, and set the CPU inside the refrigerator, because that'll help keep it cool. That is part of the problem I'm having, is the temperature of the cores. They get too hot and start to overheat, and the computer automatically throttles back the CPU. So I have to work with that. And this summer it really wouldn't be a problem, but right now, like as hot as it's been, like right now I think it's, I don't know, 75, 78 degrees already. That's not a big problem, but when it hits the mid to upper 80s and into the 90s, this computer just, it does not like it at all. And I have a small window air conditioner I can put in the wall in here, no big deal, but it just can't keep up. It's just not big enough to cool this whole area. And if I put up my door to where it would open and close to divide everything off and then insulated everything, it would probably be okay. And I might go ahead and do that. I don't know. We'll just see how I feel. But till next time, give me a few likes, subscribes, and I'll try and get more content out there as much as possible.